Hello, my name is Nicole Chapman, Director of Training and Education here at Club Caddy. Today we are going to review our latest 5.4.23 new release. With this feature, users can now apply a partial refund to class billing. Here you're going to see, in order to do that, you're going to go ahead and go to the sales here. Then you're going to go ahead and select the transaction and hit the action button here. Select refund, and then this pop-up window will appear. Now, it's a little difficult for me to showcase because I don't actually run billing jobs, but this is an example of how it would be displayed, and you would simply enter the refund amount in this box here, and then select refund. And so now you have the capability for these partial refunds and not having to refund the total amount and then recharging the difference. So saving you a little bit of time there. Next up is the tax exempt option in your event builder. Now, you're going to want to go ahead and head to your events, select an event here, and in your event builder pop-up, you're going to see under the tabs of the menu or add-ons that as we're filling this out, you can now see that there is a drop-down option to select yes or no for tax exempt. Now, this new feature is going to allow the flexibility in managing taxes for events by allowing specific items such as alcohol to be marked as tax exempt while keeping the rest of the event charges taxable. And as you've seen in the past, you can apply tax exempt to the entire event itself. However, this feature allows you to itemize which of your add-ons or menu options are taxable, so allowing more flexibility in your billing. Next, we have our ability to now export calendar and calendar view. So you'll see that there's now this functionality and this button. And if you go ahead and click that, it will allow you to export the view that you're currently seeing and distribute these calendars out to whomever you need to or share with it. Now, this next new feature is in our register on the food and beverage side, and we've created a more visual aid for when you send items to the kitchen. So you're going to want to first start in the register, and here you're going to see we add some items, and when we click send, you will now see this fire icon appear here in the register under the tab. Now this is going to allow you to quickly see which items have been sent to the kitchen with this visual indicator. And so now you'll know if there's multiple items. You don't have to memorize which ones you sent or which ones you haven't. Those icons will automatically appear next to the items once they are sent. In this new release, we've also introduced two new reports for events. This first one is the event service type report. So go ahead and navigate to reports, and then you'll find this event service report. And this is going to allow you to access and analyze revenue by category within the event service type report. And it's providing detailed insights into event performance, the revenue in each section. And it's going to allow you to easily track the revenue by this service type. And you can filter results by specific date ranges for precise reporting and make better decisions with clear categorized revenue data. Now, if for any reason you do not see this report available, you will need to turn on the permissions to view this report in your manager role settings. If you go ahead and go to this report and you do not see any headers here or it doesn't have the information you'd like displayed, that just means you simply need to customize this report by adding service types, those options in the event settings under the service types tab. And you will then see those options in the banquet manager via the drop down menu, like food, liquor, rental, cocktail hour, things like that. And then those choices will feed into this report, allowing you to create a tailored columns or information that you would like to see. So you just need to ensure that everybody is selecting those drop-down options and classifying those things correctly. And then that will feed this report to give you that accurate data. Now on to the second event report that is now available is the event charge summary report. And here you'll find it under reports and then the event charge summary report. Now, this is really helpful for those who need to forecast or analyze specific event types or dollar amounts to understand their trends or plan financial performance for upcoming periods. So you're able to now forecast revenue by seeing what's already been applied in your events. And then you can select a specific date range to review charges for categories such as food, golf, banquets, and more. So great tool for forecasting. Now, this next feature is fantastic, and I think there's a lot of facilities that could potentially utilize this, and that is the new prepaid tee time liability feature, which allows facilities to require a flat fee deposit per player for online bookings, which is going to ensure partial payment is collected up front. Now, this deposit can be configured as non-refundable, and this can streamline revenue handling for no-shows or cancellations. To set up this new feature, there are a few steps that we will need to do. First, we're going to head to our tee sheet settings. Here, you're going to see that we have the option for prepaid tee sheet liability. You're going to want to toggle that on. And once you do that, additional settings will populate under the online tee time settings. Now, you will have the option to enter the flat fee deposit per player for online bookings dollar amount here. Now select that amount, hit save, and then now underneath it, you have the ability to toggle on to make this non-refundable. Now we're going to want to ensure that we set up the proper accounting and journal entry steps. So we're going to go ahead and hit the QuickBooks integration and journal entry setup, and we're going to add 3 journal entries. The first is going to be the transaction type for tee booking liability received. So this is recognizing the deposits liability. And then we're going to credit this account. Here we created the tee time deposit, and we're going to enter the memo tee time deposit, which is optional verbiage, but always good to know. Now, next we're going to create a new journal entry. We're going to add the deposits applied. To do that, we're going to choose transaction type, which will be tee booking liability applied. And then we are going to debit this account, and we're going to choose our tee time deposits applied here. And then again, we're going to add that optional memo here to just make it clear for accounting. And then last, we are going to set up our third, which is recognizing the revenue from liability to revenue for no shows or cancellations. And we're going to add a journal entry again. This time the transaction type is going to be no show revenue. We are going to credit this account, and we're going to choose the no show or cancellation revenue option. And then in the memo, we are going to say the same thing. And if you'd like to set up a separate cancellation one, or you need to, you will just repeat this step for the difference of a no-show versus a cancellation. But you do just want to ensure that you are crediting and debiting accordingly so that all of the proper mapping for your journal entries are done correctly. It is recommended that new chart of accounts for journal entry mapping are created, but any existing ones can be applied. You just want to ensure that you're applying the correct credits and debits. If for any reason your journal entry says missing on the GL code report, that just means that this wasn't appropriately mapped. So you will want to go back in there and check to see what had happened. So if missing is there, you do know that is a mapping issue in the journal entry. Now for the front end to apply this as an example, you're going to see here that we had a tee time. This person has to cancel it on a non-refundable option. And so when you go ahead and right click and hit cancel, this pop-up window will appear and the option to generate the no-show revenue will be there. So you're going to want to hit that checkbox and simply hit yes to apply that. Also on the front end, if you do see here, somebody no-showed, you can go ahead and right click and choose the no-show revenue or no-show revenue all as well. And then you'll get a confirmation screen in which you want to hit yes. And here you can see in the GL code report that those have been applied and that amount has been applied here. Lastly, if for any reason you do need to refund a non-refundable deposit, you will just want to ensure that the manager override option is set up properly in your managed roles to go ahead and do that. And that wraps up our 5.4.23 new release. Thank you for taking the time and have a great day.